Thank you. Hi, I'm Aparajeeta, and the problem of going last is that some of the speakers who anyway know more than you have taken your points, and you're thinking what to speak about. So I am a HR professional, and you would wonder what I am doing in this panel today. So my edge, of course, is not marketing. My edge is competencies. So what I do for a living is hire from campuses, do talent management, development, and customize competencies and make sure that people deliver what they're out to deliver in the organizations that I have been in. So the advantage that I have is I can take a little from what everybody said. So I'll start with Mr. Das and go on to the fact where he said that some people who are rustic from the market, feet on street, are more successful than somebody from the IIM or the IIT who joined his team or his organization. I've faced resistance from teams and heads of sales teams saying, I'm not going to take management trainees because they're a huge load. At least for 1 year, they're not going to deliver, okay, and my targets are steep. A, that. B, the mindset of the person who joins us from campus saying that, I'm not going to do door-to-door sales, but I want a seat on the strategic table. That's the vision they join the company with. So bridging the gap is where a lot of work goes on in the organization. So what does it translate to when we talk about the competencies? A, the learning agility. Even when I start my discussion, I'm going to assume that digital acumen or the ability to keep up with the social media space is for granted. I don't think any job today would stand in isolation of it. So that is one mandatory component that every job would have, be it marketing or otherwise. So to bridge that gap, one of the key intents, not even competencies, is the intent to dirty your hands, to know the job, do what it takes. Be it of a standard that we have in our own mind that an MBA from an IIM should or should not do. Okay, so there are parts or components of a job that goes on like, a soldier says, there's not to reason why, there's but to do and die. Okay, that is something that is important, especially in the growing years of a marketing career. Coming back to competencies, companies are slowly realizing that like we had in the HR world otherwise, we have a set of competencies that go for a particular leadership level. So either in that line of business and in that particular grade, you have this competency, then you break it up into different levels of proficiency that a person has, and then put some analytics into it, add it up and say how proficient or expert a person is. Okay. From there, slowly moving away. And if I could give you a relevant example, it would be like, what are you really marketing? Are you marketing an Apple product which already has an edge, and then you are chiefly dependent on the innovator? Or are you in the FMCG world where you're like what Rahul said, you're continuously happening. There's a continuous two-way communication, and your primary role is to listen to that and respond to that. So, one thing that we need to break away from is to really, try to hard code, compartmentalize that what holds for you holds for me. Because we did Kotler, we did BCG, we got to campus. Okay, but hey, at campus somebody tells me that this is not working and I have to go to this place I don't know. I'm not aware of the culture, and I end up doing something like the Karan Johar show that Indra referred to. Okay, so cutting the long story short, I go back to the competencies. Learning agility is there, definitely. I completely agree with Dr. Chaturvedi that this is a generic competency. Everybody needs to do that. Business acumen for sure, because I am on the job for a particular reason. Okay, I have to know the organization drivers. If I don't know the organization drivers, then what am I doing there? One thing that I would like to add to the strands that are there today is the understanding of social psychology. I do not have Amitabh Bachchan's poster in my room anymore. I have my family poster. It's not important which heroes I am following. I am a hero myself because I have an Instagram page and I am worried about how many followers that has. So I think an individual in a universe of himself or herself is something that all of us have to be empathetic towards. You know, I had this opportunity to listen to S.V. Nathan, who's the HR head of Nestle, and he shared the Nestle story of, you know, most of us know the Maggie story, how Maggie went downhill, and their campaign to come back was only about reaching out to consumers of Maggie and asking them your Maggie story. So how you drove up to a hill and you had nothing but you had a Maggie, how you had a good family time with Maggie, how you went on a date and had Maggie. So it was like, how do I find I in it? The other side of social psychology, again, is to what Mr. Bansal just said, goes back to teamwork, where you lose a bit of I. What do I mean by losing a bit of I and me is when you see that, you know, as we go up the ladder, the competencies also change. So the marketing priorities are great, you know, but am I also willing to listen to finance? Am I also willing to listen to what HR says? Okay, do I also know that, you know, this is the infra support we have and this is something that we don't have? Okay, so this is what I would classically call a pillar and a beam. So the pillar being marketing and the beam being the other parts of the organization. So the willingness to listen and, you know, be empathetic is what I would, you know, put above all the six that we have today. And that, of course, is generic. Thank you so much.